We begin tonight with U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas, among other titles. I covered the Middle East for 4 years. I never saw a U.S. ambassador go to Gaza. Hasn't been one since I was there in 2014. You're going in the midst of a war tomorrow morning to Gaza. Why is it worth the risk? What do you hope to find?
Well, the president wanted Steve Witkoff and me to go into Gaza, get a firsthand look of the situation with food, humanitarian efforts, the distribution of food and medical supplies. There's been so much misinformation, and a lot of it has been just malicious. The tragedy is that Israel's getting the blame for the lack of humanitarian care, but the fact is, it's Hamas that started the war, Hamas that murdered 1,200 people, that took 250 people hostage, and they're the ones that are making it very, very difficult to get food to them because they continue to steal and loot the trucks of food that's coming in through the UN source. So we're going to go firsthand. The president wants to report as soon as we get back. And, I just appreciate a president with the clarity to say Hamas isn't going to continue to live there, rule there. They've got to be stopped, and the hostages have to be let go.
Yeah, the president said the fastest way to end the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is for Hamas to, capital letters, surrender and release all the hostages. Noteworthy, Egypt, the Saudis, and the Qataris told Hamas to lay down their weapons and go. That's significant. But just on this point, I agree with you. The original blood libel after October 7th was Israel was committing war crimes. The new one is Israel's causing starvation. But can we say there is starvation in Gaza? It is not Israel's fault, ... I would ask you, does that mean there is nothing else Israel can or should do to alleviate the pain of at least some people in Gaza who are innocent?
Well, the fact is, Leland, they are. They're the ones who are making it possible to send the food through, whether it's the GHF program. They've opened up routes for hundreds of trucks to go in and distribute food. Some of the food agencies didn't want to take it in. They didn't think it was safe. So they parked the trucks. They parked the pallets of food. There was enough piled up that could have fed Gaza for 2 years. But here's the bigger question. Can you tell me any country in all of human history who was attacked, who was the victim of a war, and who were then criticized for not feeding the people who attacked them? This is insane. I mean, I've never heard of it, ever. And here's the interesting thing.
Israel's always held to a different standard. You and I think, both know why. But I just want to put a button on this to be clear, because there were some questions about this. The United States is not asking Israel to do anything more or differently.
No, the United States believes that Israel has gone above and beyond, and they've tried to protect civilians, but Hamas keeps amassing them in front of military targets. One thing I think it's interesting, it's the European nations and Canada and other Western civilized nations who are pushing Israel harder than they're pushing Hamas. And it's fascinating that this week it was the Saudis, the Qataris, and the Emiratis who said to Hamas, lay down your weapons, let the hostages go. My gosh. Think about what a contrast that is. And here's the other part of it. Has France or the UK or Canada or the Netherlands or Ireland, have they sent any food to Gaza? No, they haven't. Have they sent any volunteers? No, they haven't. Have they offered to take any refugees from Gaza? Not one. The hypocrisy is glaring.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.